time is 7:06. We'll all stand for the pledge and invocation. Pledge first, we'll do pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we come here as a group to make decisions on the funds that are allowed in our hands, to make decisions to improve this community and to bring more businesses here. We ask that you lead our thoughts, our footsteps, and our intentions in all that we do. Be for your will and not of our own. And that we do all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So we have some announcements. There's no leaders of park until springtime. Oh, roll call, sorry, thank you. Roll call.
Allison Zerbe,
James Champ.
Brett Byers.
Pam Reed.
Elizabeth Osborne.
Kathy O'Neill.
Larry Perry.
Okay, now announcements. Okay, so no leaders in the park until next spring. The chamber is sponsoring a casino night open to the public this Saturday on October 12th at the American National Bank. Tickets are $40 for anyone who's interested. It's open to the public. We also have a chamber luncheon on October the 17th, and early voting starts October 21. So get out and vote, everybody. Then we have a trick or treat at the fire station from 5 to 9 on October 31st. Encourage everyone to come. It looks like it's going to be a great time. Okay. Do we have any citizens input?
Spectators.
Okay. All right, then we'll go ahead and go to the consent agenda. We will look at the approval of the minutes from August. We had no meeting in September. Our bank statement, profit and loss, and vendor report.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from August.
Second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Please, when you look at profit and loss, realize that's the end of the year, but there's still a couple of things that haven't come across yet.
So this is for the whole year, right?
It's for the whole year.
So
It's
is,
not the very final one, but it's the one that reflects what we've done so far, but there's a couple other things that will come up and come in there.
is the Fat Cats alone finished?
The loan, I don't think,
Repayment of Fat Cats
I don't
loan?
think they've put in everything yet that we've gotten so far from them. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, it just shows zeros across the,
Yeah, that's not correct.
okay.
That's not correct. We're gonna have to get that corrected. I thought we corrected it last month.
The sales and use tax is less than projected. So we have less business here.
We have not gotten our last quarter in yet.
Oh.
So that's before the last quarter goes in.
So what are these other revenues?
I'm wondering if they put, I think what's happened is they put Fat Cats.
That's what that is.
I think that's what they've done is they put the Fat Cats instead of repayment of a loan.
Because they have the repayment of that cat's done, but it's zero. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
they
I
just,
think
it's like they
they-
did it twice, but the number's in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's what I think. And they, like I said, we haven't gotten our last quarter in yet of the sales and use tax.
So we might be over.
So we should be over that projected amount when we get it, because this is only 3/4. And we were almost there with 3/4.
So there's more business.
Mhm.
It's good.
And if you notice, the rest of it's on the back.
So now what's this new Texas EDC on the other page?
Oh, the reason it says new is because I wanted them to split up our training so we could show exactly what we spend on sales tax and what we spend on basic and what we spend on other trainings. The new one will actually have that as a line. This one shouldn't have had it as a line, but they went ahead and divided it up so we can see how much we spend.
Pam, how much do we pay the attorney per month?
500.
A month?
Because we used to pay 100, didn't we? 100?
Mhm.
I thought it was like, just like, just, a lump sum for annual, no?
Well, we could pay it annually, but
I didn't
we,
think it was that much.
we've done,
For some reason, I wanted to have the figure of 2,500 in my mind. Does that sound,
yeah, that's what we used to pay.
so it went from 2,500 a year to 500 a month.
When we changed to leave, right?
So it comes up to the 5750 a year. Is that for a year? That's for the year?
That would be for the year.
Utilities.
Maybe we need to use her a little more.
Do we ever use them?
No,
Huh?
I
We
use
do.
them.
Yeah.
We
You
use them.
do?
Yeah, we do use her.
you do use her.
Long as he can say 2 or 3 words, it's worth the money, I think.
Yeah, well, she's doing a paper, contract thing for me right now. For
Well, we did
something
use her for,
Huh?
on James's contract and everything, we did use her for that.
Oh,
I
well,
remember that.
and it's his fault, right?
else.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be 6,000 a year is what we'll end up paying her over a 12-month period. That's what we will end up paying on the next one, and that's put down on our next budget.
And are you just not claiming all your words?
She started it in the middle of the year, that's part of it. And I know that
She hasn't been here a year yet?
She'll be.
Okay.
she will be
Okay.
very shortly. So, yeah, we're
What is other administration?
that particular one ended up being property tax this year.
Property.
Yeah, that's what we ended up spending that on this year that we hadn't counted on. And we're trying to work that out.
Yeah, it's another spot to where they have it on the first page, to tax on property. It's not, they got all zeros.
Mm-hmm. And next year we'll be all right. Mhm. Yeah, it's like what they did was they combined my new one on my old one here. Some of these things are zeros.
Okay, so we can't approve it because we need to have corrections done, or we can
No,
approve
no.
it pending
No, it's right. What is on here is right. It's
it's
just
just in the
that
wrong slot.
some of it's just in the, which really shouldn't have been put on until the next year's thing. So it really doesn't make any difference. It still comes out the same, what we've spent and what we've taken in.
So I make a motion to accept the profit and loss statement the way it is.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we've got a bank statement.
Bank statement,
It's short.
short, front back.
No,
Not really anything like that.
Thanks to there's nothing there, right? It's just.
Mhm.
Make a motion to approve the bank statement.
So
Mhm.
this isn't showing on the account. Is that not supposed to be on out of your bank account?
The vendor,
500
which
bucks.
one is it?
Leah's payment?
No, it hadn't been spent yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I make a motion, we accept the bank statement.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Did you do vendor report?
No, I'll make a motion that we accept the vendor report just showing us Leah's payment.
Second.
All in favor? That's great. Okay, new business. I would really like to do some type of advertisement for West Tawakoni. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is we could do a brochure and get them printed. I looked at the prices on them, and you can get quite a number of them pretty reasonably. They run anywhere from about $250 to about $300 for about 1,000 of them. And I would really like to see us kind of do that so that when we go out places, we could give them a little brochure that says, you know, West Tawakoni and something good about what we do here in the economic development,
It's like a trifold or something.
like a trifold.
I will just say to that end, when I was getting my new car the other day, the gentleman that was viewing my other car happened to see one of those maps that we had the advertisement on, and I had to give him that to get my new car.
Those maps were really good,
Yeah,
weren't
I
they?
did.
They were
Give him
good.
my last map, so.
We still have a few of them left.
Do you?
Yeah, we still
Well, I
have.
might need some, because that was my last one.
Yeah, I think that was a good advertisement for
Yeah.
what it was,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm thinking maybe we need to be a little bit more specific. West Tawakoni.
Yeah.
And what we've got going on here that's good, and trying to get new businesses in and that kind of thing.
I said that God did the flyer, does an excellent job with them. You can do it trifold, just as easy.
The only difference would be the paper it would be on, because if we do it professionally, it'll come on that slip gloss paper, that nice paper. Where if we have someone like that do it, it's gonna be on.
Well, no, he doesn't print it out. He will just create it and email it to me. He did you see the flyer at 9/11? Okay, it wasn't really a flyer, it was a folded half agenda.
Mhm.
And it was nice. And he did the front and then he did the inside. Then we had it printed.
So if we're gonna have it printed, we have to create it too. Or else we pay them to create it, so we
Yeah,
can ask.
I just type up something and tell him what I want on it and then he does it. I mean, he comes up with the graphics and all that stuff.
Are you talking about having somebody design it? Just we design it.
Well, if you went on Vistaprint or one of those other companies, you know, that do these, that you kind of have to design it with them, you
You have to
know.
give it to them.
That's,
They
that's
just
like,
print it out.
it's kind of plug and play to a certain
Yeah.
extent,
Yes,
unless you have to actually design the graphic.
Yeah.
Then you're getting into the whole thing, but you're getting on the flyers.
I like the idea of, having those pieces of paper, so we can hand it over, instead of having an advertisement or a big, group of advertisements. Then nobody reads paper.
Mhm.
So if we have a piece of paper, then give it to them, somebody would look at it for minute or something. That's
That's
good.
10 minutes.
That's a good idea then.
Mhm.
I know that Allison does beautiful pictures of the lake. And I think that would be awesome to put some of those pictures on it. Some of the beautiful pictures of the lake. And then talk about our EDC and what we're doing, you know, and all that kind of thing.
I can bring, or I can bring some up, if y'all wanna look at them, the ones I have to do.
That would be
Are
awesome.
you talking like the one for the chamber director?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got plenty of those. I get bored.
Yeah, so we can use some of those and, that kind of thing. What I'd like to do is,
I think that we should keep the slogan from the other one though, because I think it was really good. I
absolutely.
mean, not being biased, but.
Yes, bring your business to the lake and the rest of it is
Yeah.
really good for us. And I think that needs to be right on the front of it.
Wow. That is phenomenal.
If you wanna pass this around, that's what he did for the front. And then if you'll scroll the other way, it shows the inside.
That's awesome.
And yes, even in the meet and greet, if you can give out these, so none of those people don't know what we do, right? Never forget.
I don't have an idea of what the best method for marketing that kind of stuff is, but it always seems to me business cards would be a lot more effective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have just a couple key points on the business card about, you know, what your business statement is and where to contact, the website, you know, you'll follow up. And people hand me flyers and let's go, we'll walk around and there it goes. But if it's a card, I throw that in my wallet and we'll be able to bring that back up again. Just a thought.
You kind of have to agree with that. I have unnecessary amounts of business cards in my backpack.
Well, the thing about a business card is I will keep in my wallet until I'm done with it, and then I've actually looked at it and went out to the site, then it'll stay in my wallet for a while, but I'll always follow up on it.
Right.
For a flyer, quite often I won't follow up on it. But that's just me personally.
We could do both.
How much-
I was just talking about business cards versus a flyer and how me personally, what affects me.
How much would it cost for a flyer? 20 cents, 30 cents, right?
The flyers are like 49 cents to 79 cents usually per flyer. Where the cards are cheaper, and I can't quote right off the top of my head what they were. Because I was looking at them.
We could do both where you have, take the card to the paper, and that way they're gonna have paper where they rip off the card to put in their thing.
Yeah, if we can do
That's
that.
really a good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we take paper, you know?
Oh.
Right.
Does it want?
It's stuck.
It's stuck.
But I have one at home because we went to that ceremony.
I thought you did.
So, do we make a motion that the gentleman that put the flower together for the fire department?
Perfect.
If we present him what we wanted to say or ideas and see if he can put something together that we had someone else print. To prepare a trifold advertisement with a business card attached.
Should we talk about how much we can spend?
Yeah, what's the budget?
The budget.
I would say the budget needs to be no more than $500.
I'm sure well within that.
I make a motion that this is what we do. We work on it going forward.
I'll second the motion that we don't, that we set the budget at least $500. No more than.
I'll second that.
Sorry.
I'll second that.
Well, okay, she had a motion on the
She
floor.
made it, I just seconded it with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
she seconded it, okay. So, what we'll do is try to get something together. if anybody has any input, what they would like to see on that brochure, if they will text me, email me, or whatever, your ideas, so that we can put it all together. And then I will give that information to Kathy to her fella that is doing it for them, and see what we can get together to try to get us a brochure and a business card. EDC. Okay.
So email you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any ideas that you may have? All in favor, thank you.
Yeah,
I,
it makes you look a little more professional when you walk into something and you can hand somebody something.
Yeah.
You already got an entrance.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, and we need to start making
And I got a big
ourselves more known.
professional.
And I thought we could put some of them up here at the city hall too, you know, we could give some to Shannon for any businesses coming in. So she could hand them, you know, that brochure and.
Actually, I like the idea of the business card, because, you know, when we go and meet with people, you know, should be able to give them something.
Yes, I like that idea.
That's actually a good thing. We don't have anything like that.
Yeah. Let's see, so I can see what I'm doing again. Okay, so that's on the advertisement. The other new business is that we need to discuss and take action on the extension of the development agreement for 1552 East Highway 276. I think probably we need to go into executive session to discuss this fully and then come
I
out.
just have a question on that. Is, how would it affect the third party? Like, I don't know that it would be actually legal to go into an executive session on that.
It's under the deliberations about gifts and donations.
But that's actually, the gifts and donations is actually if it's being gifted or donated to the state or to the governmental body.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Under the section 551.073, deliberations regarding prospective gift closed meetings, a governmental body may conduct a closed meeting to deliberate and negotiate a contract for a prospective gift or donation to the state or to the governmental body if the deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiating with a third person.
So is that stating that's the reason why we should have an executive?
No, that's why we
Right.
shouldn't go.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like, that's a gift. What's a gift?
That's why I was saying I don't think it would be,
Under that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not understanding. Should we say-
okay, so,
This is a
yes. This one.
Mhm.
gift. There's no deliberation on a gift, right?
Right.
Okay, so close meeting. Like the close meeting to deliberate and negotiate contract.
It is
They
about his
conduct
contract,
prospective gift.
But it's to
Deliberate,
the state
negotiated contract.
or the governmental body,
which is going on.
but it's not to us. If that makes sense.
Or if deliberation.
And there's no third person that it would have a detrimental effect in negotiating.
We want to try to keep it.
Yes.
So we
We're
need to
working
get
around
around
hard.
here.
Yes.
So we'll do that.
Okay,
We'll
so
just
let's
do
talk
it
about it.
So there's no, so we're talking about close meeting, the close meeting to deliberate and negotiate
Right, that's
contract.
what she had on the
Contract for a
agenda.
prospective gift or donation. There's no negotiation
Right.
contract for a gift, so.
Exactly. That was my point.
Well, she's
That this
saying
didn't
that
fit with
it-
that.
it-
So there would be no reason that we could
May
use this to go into an
Something
executive
that's
session.
given to us.
The way it's worded on here makes it confusing.
Yeah.
Or a third
Yeah,
person
because
is detrimental.
I just came from what we had in our,
Previous.
Previous
yeah.
stuff. and now that everything is going crazy with all these different changes, we're trying to make sure we're following exactly what the law is. Okay, so let's just go ahead and discuss it here. It's not a big deal.
I'm not even clear that.
Yeah. Okay, so right paper that I need.
Something we have.
Okay, so we entered into this contract in July of 2023 with the LLC. Sorry, I don't have my name, my LLC down here.
Name of the LLC, Copel?
Coppell, thank you, I couldn't remember, Coppell LLC. Our plan was that phase one would be completed within 12 months from the date on which the first permit to construct the improvements contemplated in the consent plan is issued. Okay,
Not 12, not 24 ones, right?
no, first one's 12. Okay. So we need to know, have you taken any permits out, first of all? Is the LLC taken any permits out to construct anything at this point?
So at this point, they're still in CDs. So my hope is that it'll be submitted to city hopefully by next week.
Okay.
So that's where we are. And, I gave you the names of the architects you can talk to, the building designer you already talked to, the project manager you already talked to. So, and if you want, you can talk to the architect putting it all together. So that's where we are.
Okay. So what's happened so far has been, we've run into a lot of red tape through TxDOT about roads. We've run into red tape about getting some infrastructure stuff going. And it's all been one thing, and the developer, the building construction manager I talked to today, he hasn't been able to get on the building and all these other things. But the EDC has the option of giving him an extension on this particular area if we so desire, so that no one can say that we're in a conflict.
I think that because of a lot of that time was taken up from even having to go through the court system to get the lien off of the property to begin with, that's kind of on us on that part.
I agree.
So I feel like we should give him an extension, because that did take up a lot of months of trying to just go through the court to get the lien off of the property.
Yes, it did.
So what sort of extension are we looking at?
What's it?
The length of time for extension are we looking at?
I would say for the construction of the shell, give us 6 months. 6 months from the date of approval of the CDs.
Approval of the cities.
Anything else?
So we send it to the cities, then it goes to Bureau Veritas, and then there'll be a lot of back and forth. They'll say you make these changes, and once it's approved, you need about 6 months to mobilize and build the shell. The inside won't be built until there's a tenant. So the
Because
tenant will
built to
say, I
suit.
need like this, I need like that, so that has to wait.
They're gonna be built to suit then.
Build a suit.
Built to suit.
I would suggest that we give the 6 month extension with a possibility, a hanger of a 6 month extension if other complications arise that are out of his control. Then we don't have to do this again.
So are we still doing the hotel?
Yes, but that will go on a different phase.
This is just for the first phase.
Okay, so
First phase. Yeah.
So, hello, sorry. It's-
So,
Did we have that part? The phases? No, it was
I
in
know,
the,
but I've
it
got
was
it
in
on
the
this.
other thing.
I've got it on this paper. Yeah. I should have brought the whole thing, but it was this thick and so I only
Yeah.
covered one page. But the other phases were phase 2 within 36 months and phase 3
Okay, that's
within
what my
36
question
months.
was. So phase 2 is at 36 months. Do we need to extend that do we need to extend the whole thing according to the 6-month extension, or is it just gonna be just this phase?
I think once we get,
Push the whole thing.
Because that's gonna
Right.
delay the other parts from
Right.
taking place too. Okay.
so what we have then is.
What did we have a completion deadline of? Do you,
36 months from the first permit.
for full completion? 36 months is.
But completion just means the actual shell, because it's still
Right.
build the suit, right?
Right.
So the CDs have not been approved, and all of the things start from the CD
Right.
approval.
So maybe one of the things we need to do is to give the 6-month extension with, the option of another 6 months.
I think we should just extend the final deadline, because then that still gives them time, and should things arise. But it doesn't affect just little phases at a time, because if one thing goes wrong, then that's gonna delay all the others. So I think just extending the final deadline and when you would have to, start the first phase.
This
Now,
might be a
each
great
phase
question.
is separate, it's our separate deadlines,
Right.
So we can only do one phase and then you go to the next. So if you push the first phase.
Yeah.
On 6 months from the date of approval,
Right,
and then everything else will get pushed.
exactly, yeah.
But you don't want to push other phases. You can run concurrent tasks.
No, they won't be concurrent. You
No.
finish one, then you do the other, otherwise you fail in everything.
Right,
So they have to be completely developed.
finish
if you're
one.
done one.
You
Right.
do with it, then you go to the
Okay, so
next.
what's the project manager requesting for?
We're just requesting for 6-month extension
Okay. That's what the project
just
manager
extend the
requested.
final
From the
deadline
date
by
of-
6 months.
approval.
As a project manager, I think the project manager probably right.
Okay. So,
That option needs to just be an opportunity to address the board again. If there's complications that were out of their control, and then you have to explain those complications.
Date of approval by who?
Say that again?
Date of approval by who? By the banks, by
For the
city?
approval, the
Yeah.
CDs, city approves it.
So I make a motion that we extend the final deadline for this phase at 6 months, and then give the option, should something else arise, you can come back and speak to us again.
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So, Sylvia, did you get that exactly how she said it?
I think I got the idea. Make the motion to extend the final deadline for that phase by 6 months, and then to give the option of him to come back and talk to us if something else should arise out of his interim.
So essentially, the second request would have to be made for purpose with explanation.
Okay, so that's what we will do. I guess that's all under the new business. Old business.
Well, I failed y'all this month on this first one.
Okay. Okay.
So on the business of the month, I failed. I have not had time to go by there because our meetings with my full-time job, I have not had a chance to stop by there while they're open. So I don't know if anybody else could help me out with that part.
Which, what business?
The RV,
The RV?
the repair, the RV or.
Tawakoni are we, right?
Yeah, Tawakoni RV, yes.
Yeah,
That's
to walk in the RV. Well,
Yes.
I can go get with Adam over there
Okay.
and sit down with him.
Okay, I will see if I have one of those
Whatever you
papers in
need
my,
done.
yes. I just need them to fill out one little thing and then we're all golden.
I'll get it all set, yeah.
Thank you.
So call me too when you go. I'll go with you too.
Yeah, okay, great.
If I don't have it right here, I will get it to Pam in her email, and she can pass it along. Or do you have an email?
What?
He does.
Do you- He does? Does he check it?
Yeah.
I have
mine
an
does.
email. Yeah, I have an email.
Okay, what's your email?
RHELLA PARE 38
Yes,
at yahoo.com.
gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your Yahoo email,
Form.
the form for
Is
them
that
to
the
fill
one
out.
that jumps or?
Yeah.
No.
Yahoo. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, meet and greet. I just didn't have time to get it last time, so here I failed.
Okay, you want to just name?
So it wasn't just you. It was a crazy month last month. I don't think that doing it in November or December is a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm
Even
thinking,
January and February may not be a good idea.
yeah, I think we probably need to table this until after the first of the year. Spring.
Maybe January, February is not good even.
Make it a spring fling.
Right.
When do y'all think spring starts?
March.
Okay.
Spring break.
I think it gets further out each year, it seems
And
like.
so the chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we have our next meet and greet in the spring.
I'll second that.
Somewhere around March, spring break.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, status of the AMVETS grant.
Have they not?
Okay.
Okay.
I've got good news for that, very good news. This last week I got with them and they sent an invoice from the company they decided to go with, and we sent we wrote out the check for our grant for them to take over to, and it's written to the company that's doing
Right.
the
That's for the air conditioning.
air conditioning.
Awesome.
So he was supposed to pick it up yesterday, I think. I don't know if he did or not, because I hadn't heard back.
No, and she called me to sign it this afternoon.
She did? Okay. Well, anyways, so once you send it, he's supposed to pick it up.
Okay.
So anyway, it's in the process. We know who they're gonna use. It's been taken care of.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. We still have 1300 East Highway 276 on our thing. What are we gonna do with it?
Which one is 1300?
That's ours.
That's
Okay.
ours.
Our old building.
So I did receive the report. My only question now would be that, yes, they find that it would be more cost effective to rebuild, but I still don't know that we couldn't use part of the existing building there and go off of.
There's really no value in it, you know?
So the only problem with it is the top half is still okay, but for us to use it for almost anything, we have to put a bathroom in.
That's all that.
And that's kind of an issue.
But I mean, like if we wanted to go with the building of a new building, could we not go off of that, like an extension to that part that's still good?
Yeah, let me explain that. So when you do a metal building, you know, so you gotta have.
So you're wanting a new building as a metal building?
Well, if it's but otherwise the cost will be high, much higher. If you were to do,
By far the most cost effective.
all
Well, it is,
metal will be
but-
much cheaper. But let's say if you were to do it, we can always talk about other options, you know? If you were to do it, you gotta have a cement slab.
Right.
The slab that you have on that building is useless. You know, it's sinking in one side, you know, high on the other side, it's not even straight.
So the foundation is what's not.
The foundation is gone, it's
Okay.
bad. So you'll have to make a new cement slab. So if you're gonna do that, might as well do it, you know, slightly different place.
We brought this up last time. I didn't mean to throw wrench movement. I just wanted to know if it was possible, if we were gonna, versus spending the 20,000 to remove it and then build over the top of it, whether or not it would be more effective for us to save that as some kind of just storage, storage.
Or anything, so we're not just
You could do
wasting
that.
what we
Yeah.
already paid.
Yeah.
That's an excellent building for a storage.
I mean, and let's think
There's
about
there's nothing there that would hurt anything as a storage building and so on. And, you know, you could work out of it in different, for different reasons and so on. And
Yeah.
But visibly, if we're trying to make the
we
city
could
look
dress it,
better.
we could dress it a
The
little.
building
I'm
looks
not saying do a bunch
beautiful.
of
I
red,
think.
but we could dress
We
it a little.
could use it to store all the decorations for the park.
Right.
or Anything, any
For
activity
the
we
city,
do, the movies at the park, store all the equipment, all the things.
As they say,
Yeah.
space will fill stuff allotted to it. I mean, if you got space, people.
I
are
mean,
gonna put it
at
there.
the very least, we could hold movies in the park inside if it
Right.
was cleaned up. Because of the days when it's so
Right.
windy, we can't get that thing to stand
Right.
up. We could just
Shoot it on the
use
wall.
that screen on the wall.
Yeah.
And it'd be good to go.
The
So we're not
proportions
wasting
would-
what we have
Yeah.
already there and, you know, we can utilize that, I think.
That I agree with.
Okay, so we want to keep the building again. Is
I
that,
mean, I don't see like,
But if you
if we're gonna build a new
building,
building anyways, and it's not gonna be right there on top of that, then there's no reason to tear it down if we can utilize it for something for the city and for the citizens.
that's my thing. If you build a new building, where are you gonna put it?
But we still have
Well,
all
we got
that property on
the
that
whole
other side.
end, plus where the foundation is, down there, we've got that whole, section where,
Like where
I
the
don't know
old
what
boat
it was, a
was.
Over
store.
the anvil,
Huh?
over the anvil.
Yes.
By the end.
Then we're gonna need parking and all that.
Mhm. Well, you
There's
got parking in the middle. You got the whole
There's
center
spots there.
between this building and that foundation, which is what? 100 feet, 150 feet,
At least.
like that, so you have that whole thing for parking right there.
Cause you gotta imagine how big that boat was that was there. You never saw
And the
that.
nice thing about parking too, and also having that building there, is because, I mean, we could plan for overloaded everyday parking.
Yeah.
But if we're actually talking about doing some kind of open area to where we could have movies and so forth, I mean, it's something that would fit minimum 50, maybe maximum of 100 people, so between 1,200 square feet, open room. If it was to be something like that, and you really need to overflow parking, guess what? We're so lucky to be
We got
right
the
there
whole
next to
park. Hey,
So I wouldn't design it around that type of use. But, you know, I would know, and I had the park in my back pocket and just kind of make it normal everyday stuff for proposed offices and so forth.
I mean, that parking area to the left, where you go into the park to the left,
Yeah.
is a perfect parking area, and it's only a second walk over to what we're doing and so on and so forth. I mean, that is such a beautiful piece of property, my God.
it's a nice piece of property. It really is.
It's a lot bigger than.
Okay, so- If we want to keep that property, I really believe we're going to have to do something about those rolling doors that are on it, because,
By the way, Chad said that he'll try and mow it on Wednesday.
oh, thank you. Chad, wonderful. I think I've got someone that'll do the regular mowing for us next year. It's dependable.
I'll try to get it done until winter time, so it won't be over.
So the rolling doors are an issue because they just don't lock.
Those are easy to fix, you know, to replace and put them. You can do that in a day or two, you know.
Do we want to take bids and get those rolling doors replaced?
Yes.
Yes. I'll make a motion, we get bids for the rolling doors to be replaced on the building at 1300 East Highway 276, so we can utilize the building for citizens and storage and whatever we need to do.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Y'all know I'm not for this, because I've already heard about this foundation, and it sounds like a bad idea. How do we know? I mean, we went through all this before trying to get approved to just put a vendor in there. Okay, is she gonna let us
Oh.
even
But
do
that's
storage?
not what I was told the issue was with the vendor. It wasn't a code that wouldn't let him go in.
Well, it was different things, you know.
I mean, it's
kept-
gonna have to have renovations, it's gonna have to,
Yeah.
but not as much as, say, if we were
But the
gonna pay the offices or
contractor
whatever.
has to do it. So we're gonna spend more money on it. He wanted to do it himself, and that's part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah. Because she first said he could, then she said he couldn't.
Right. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue with getting approval to,
But then we
Have things
stopped
done.
everything because we said the foundation was too bad.
to do what the
Yeah, but
offices
it
and
isn't-
everything else that they were
Right.
wanting to do
Yeah.
and to redo all of that. If they're wanting to build a new one, we need to utilize what we've already purchased. There's no reason not to. I mean, we've already spent the money on it. It's already ours. There's no reason if we can't get it into code that we can at least hold movies in the park when it's raining or when it's windy and we can't get the screens to stay up. I mean, there's no reason we can't utilize that for the citizens. Rather
talking
than
about the back
spending
of the
$20,000 to
Yeah.
tear it down, we could spend $20,000 to fix it.
We're talking about the back of the building.
Whatever part of it's the good part. I don't know. I haven't been in there.
The back parts.
Okay, so yeah,
Well, I'm just saying that because we couldn't use the inside because of the foundation, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I think there was two different things going on. One was to make it for the vendor for the back and the problems he was having, just working with the city and then changing his mind, saying it's too much work. I already got something easier going on over here. That's what I had heard. And the second part was us just looking, what would it take
and
to,
another option.
well,
Yeah.
the other option was to actually do a big remodel on it.
Right.
And we coming to the conclusion it did make sense to do a big remodel because of the foundation problems, but not to say that it couldn't be used for other purposes.
Right. I mean, if there's parts that are bad, then we don't have to utilize that part. I mean, there's two parts. There's the front and the back. If it's the front that's bad, we don't have to utilize the front. We can utilize the back. There's no reason just to spend $20,000 to tear it down when we can use any parts of it for something.
What happened to the sanitation department tearing down a couple of buildings?
I asked about that, and when they came time to renew their contract last year, the company that we had before sold out to another company from what I understand, and that wasn't part of their option. So, so what I think we need to be clear on is it's the back that the foundation is good on, the front the foundation is not good on. Whatever we do, we cannot put in a bathroom in this with the situation the way it is. So we could use it for storage and we could use it for the movies, but any other use that public is
Right.
going in and out of would have to be
What is the reason you can't put a bathroom in there?
because of the foundation issues and the sewage issues that are under the building because of the foundation.
You'd have to put a new septic system in like that on the side or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
yeah.
You're
And
gonna have to have.
I had that figured right from the
yes,
beginning.
and that was the biggest cost to any renovation for the building was the bathrooms.
That if we built another building, you could
Tie into
build
that.
an extended room off of that building and put a bathroom. And
Right,
it isn't affected by that foundation, that roof, that
Right.
walls or anything.
Yeah.
Just an addition
Yeah.
to that building,
If we needed to.
you know, to give it a bathroom.
If we have to, but I don't think we have to for what we're planning to do.
We're gonna have them walk out there, go to the park and go to the outhouse.
Gonna have them go out to the park bathroom.
I mean, movies in the park, we're having to use the park bathroom anyway. It's right there. At least until we can get the other building built, and then like you said, we could do an extension off of it with a new sewer too, so it wouldn't be an issue to build it.
Are we gonna be able to get insurance on this building?
Insurance?
I mean, we should have known all that before we
Sure.
bought it.
You see my little note I just wrote about
We should have known all
insurance?
that before we bought it.
We have TML insurance on it currently,
So then, yes, we can.
and that's what we would continue with. I just need to double check and see. occupancy rules on that. So I will do that this next week.
So just do are we talking still doing the roll-up doors?
Yes, we're still talking about roll-up doors. If we're gonna store anything in there, we're gonna have to address those doors.
I'm not sure we can use it for occupancy, it's
Well, we can't occupy it.
Right.
We can't.
even
With,
movies in the park, that's occupancy, Can't do it probably.
Yeah, that's where I was going with this.
So you can still store
If you're
stuff.
only using the good part, I don't see, I guess we'd have to get with code first to find out, because I don't know why they would say you couldn't hold anything in the back part if there's nothing wrong with that
Back
part.
part is strong and
It's sturdy.
sturdy.
So it'd be
Understood.
efficiently just blocking off that front part and utilizing the good part
You could do,
for that.
you could do that.
so I think.
Back part is pretty strong.
Sounds like filling in a pool.
Essentially, yeah, okay. So, I'll check on that insurance, but I do need a motion on what we're gonna do about the doors.
I'll make a motion that we get the bids for the roll-up doors being repaired or replaced.
Repair/replaced. I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Repair the doors or replace the doors?
Get bids for either repair or
Repair
replace.
slash
Okay. So I think that concludes that part of the business for right now. We don't need to have any executive session on we don't have anything new that's come in that we need to discuss.
I had one more question on that other property. To the left, where it used to be a car wash or whatever, where that concrete is, can we not cover that up? I think we should, everybody trips.
I think we should too. I think we should make it a vendor's parking lot.
Mhm.
So how do we want to cover it up?
Is that where the cactus is? at?
That's where the cactus is, if I've been trying to get somebody to remove ever since we bought it.
I'll ask Chad, he used to collect those down in San Antonio. I don't know how or why, but.
Those things are awful. Cactus is terrible.
Make it a big patio.
I was actually kind of thinking about that too. But the nice thing, again, about the location of that, got that big old giant rancho 50 feet away, the one next to the VFW stuff. I mean, not the VFW, the little memorial park there, they got for the vets. They got that other one right there. It's like, how many do we need? I
Oh,
mean, there's already all those shared resources that are already available. You know what I mean?
he's talking about the in the park, the big pavilion and the Veterans Memorial.
Or at the backside there, I mean, it's such a little tiny walk to that, to another one. I don't know if we need to build another one right next to us. It's in the middle
If you poured
overloaded.
concrete on it, you could have it as a parking lot.
Well, yeah. And hopefully with what's already existing there, it'd only need a small layer of blacktop or something. I don't know about that kind of stuff, but I'm sure the existing foundation's gonna have to make it a lot cheaper.
Do we want to go ahead and start talking about a parking lot there?
Yes.
Yeah, especially if we were looking at that building for storage. And then ultimately having some other design with the entire property about the size of the building after we figure out the usage of the building and how we locate, and then you could develop drive-throughs and turnarounds and all the stuff I used to like to do when I built hotels and stuff.
We get to do it again.
Why did I do like?
Okay, so then essentially we need to try to get some bids on.
So I will amend my motion to include bids on the, what do you call that there?
The left portion of the property.
The left portion of the property where the cactus
Yeah,
is,
call it the concrete slab.
the concrete slab. Okay, so I amend my motion to allow for bids on covering up or
To include.
to include the concrete slab that's on the left side of the building.
Right.
There we go.
I second that.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Did you get that? Sylvia?
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Anything else that needs to be discussed about that property?
Yeah. So I guess on a new building, kind of open up to that. When I was at this class, so much
Information.
gray area.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And me saying, well, okay, you said that, makes me sound like I can't do that. And they're like, no, just call it that. And it's just like, it really sounds like a lot of wordsmithing to
Yes.
basically do whatever he wants.
We cannot call it a civic center. We
Call it a career center,
career center.
or
Yeah.
they had a couple other names too. Yeah, he can get it done and then use it as you want. But, so what I've been hearing is some kind of open room area, for instance, like what they had in Lone Oaks, which I did go take a look at, and I could see what they got, pretty much what I thought. I only looked at the windows, I couldn't get a hold of the one. But I'm thinking, my suggestion would be like, so right now we're thinking 50 people, but we kind of want to grow a little bit for the future too. So I'm thinking bake in at least another 25-50% of what we're looking at. So if we're thinking 50 people, I would like to plan something for like at least 80.
On what?
Just an open room space.
On a new building?
The newest.
Oh, I was like, we're talking new building.
Because again, before we start looking at designs and all that stuff, we gotta figure out the usage.
Exactly.
So if we have an open room auditorium, a single office for EDC, 2 bathrooms, because we're gonna have to be bigger, so 2 bathrooms, then open a small universal office for EDC. So the bigger one, public meeting, another one, I just need a quiet spot to work, make that a little tiny one. And then what I'm hearing is 3 public rental offices for shared services within that.
I've still been seeing a lot of interest in that.
Okay, and I'm thinking shared office, now what we're talking about, I'm thinking 150 square meters, about the same size as what we do for EDC office,
With the
Yeah.
kitchenette.
right? And the kitchenette
Yeah, and
and a small meeting room.
when I went over to Lone Oak and looked at their civic center, they have a commercial kitchen in there. And that is awesome for any kind of event kind of thing you want to do. And so I'm wondering if we ought not to plan ahead and think about incorporating something like that in.
Give me a budget, I'll throw it in there, but off the top of my head, I'm like, well, that's what we have that extra building for. Because that ain't gonna come up too often.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, I don't know about $1,000 building in that chef room. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that further.
Right.
But it sounds like a really good idea.
I'm for it if you can afford it.
You have to take a loan anyways to build it, right?
Yeah, we're gonna end up, when we get ready to actually go there, we will actually take a loan for that building and then we will pay it off.
So I guess as far as that new part goes, then, I'll work with James. I'll come up with some rough ideas. I'll get some square footage based on what we just said. Kind of, and I know these have already been working with metal building vendors. So I'll do it. I won't put anything very super detailed into it, but I'll do something rough. We can show, then you can give me back some directions about what's easy enough to fit in for a price, and then I can actually start doing something more detailed to see if it passes everybody's thinking about how we want to use and move forward on a new building.
This time.
Anything else?
All right. I make the motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Wait a minute.
I said
We've got new citizens input
Oh.
again. Any citizens input they wanted to share with us?
Nope. Are you sure?
Okay, now you can do
Okay,
it.
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank y'all for coming.
First.
That's the last one.
My Dollar Tree.
I was ran over a duck earlier today.
The whole tree back is
I got so bad.
They look
I
like
was laying on my bed, so it was just a little bit, and you know, like across the road to go pop.
Glad to see you
I
guys
was
here.
like, yeah. I never come from this road, this house, over to the neighbor's house, and potty, and came back across the road. I was like, this darn duck.
Should we turn this off?
Out in the middle of nowhere, slam on my brakes, scared to death.
I saw myself
And I just watched him walk over there, and go right back to his house. I was like, that's so rude.
Yeah, which door do we go out? We came in this door. We go out.
Good to see all these.
It was. I mean, it was interesting.